And welcome to Horror Talk Live, episode 30. We're 30 episodes into this live experiment where we don't edit anything. And if we mess up, it's for you to laugh at. So enjoy. Tonight, I have a very special guest. Hi, Mom. Hi, Kurt. Hey, everybody in the chat. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on a very different Horror Talk Live, but a fun one, I assure you. Tonight, I have a very special guest. Troy didn't want to do this one. My son's not really into comedies. He has the bloodlust of horror movies. So I asked my good friend Dale _A from the Bat and Spider podcast. Dale.
Hey, Brian. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. One of my Hall of Fame movies, so I'm happy to step in for the terror of Bernie and his weekend.
Yes, we are going to the Hamptons via North Carolina for a weekend at Bernie's tonight. It's not a horror movie, but it is about a dead body, and we will make it work. We will make it work. And I knew Dale was the right man for this job because me and Dale have talked about this movie many, many times over the years as friends. So, hey, Kurt, everybody, I hope you're having a great Friday night. It was a long, hot week down here in North Carolina.
Yes.
Dale knows because he goes running every day. And it's cooled down this evening. We got some thunderstorm, or it's got some rain. It's down in the 70s, so it feels refreshing right now. First up, I want to bring up, we just saw last night, and I put a non-spoiler review out. We saw, me, Dale, and Troy went to see Evil Dead Burn last night. And if you haven't seen it yet, I'm just going to give you a warning. I'm not going to spoil anything. This is not a gateway horror film. So if you think this is a movie that this is a good gateway horror to get somebody into horror, this is not that movie. I think Dale would attest to that.
Agree.
If you're an Evil Dead fan, this one goes really hard. It's very gory. Hey, Kathy. Very violent.
Hey, Kathy.
And there's not many laughs. This is definitely not Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness. This is more in line with the 2013 Evil Dead reboot. And I would even say it's even meaner than that movie. Dale, what was your thoughts on the movie? I know you had a couple problems with it, but go ahead.
No, I think you're right. It's right in line with Evil Dead 2013. I mean, it's just it's just a mean movie. It's just a nasty movie. There's no levity. There's no jokiness, especially with Evil Dead 2. You know, like Evil Dead, the
first
Dead
one was more of a straight horror movie.
It was a straight horror movie, but a little more palatable. It just doesn't they just didn't know how hard they could go in movies back then. Like I'm sure they would have, but
it's good, Rich. I think you'd like it, but we're just going over. I gave it a positive review, but
it's good, especially if you know the previous remakes of the Evil Dead 2013. And Evil Dead Rise, it's just gnarly horror. I mean, there's no brightness in the movie, and I did like it in terms of, because I feel like up until now, every Evil Dead movie we've gotten, we've only gotten people in a house, they read from a book, bad things start happening.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, by Evil Dead Rise, the last one, I was like, we need a little something more, because it's just been too much of like the same iteration, which I really, really appreciated this movie. It pushes it in a newer direction while like maintaining the previous like lore. Whatever lore you could get out of the movies, it's there. But also it expands it a little bit, which is not bad at all.
No.
And I think, no spoilers or anything, I think it just, and that's not a bad thing. And you're there for not the lore, right? You're there to see how, like, nasty the Deadites can be. And like, so the dead people, I mean, they're just, like, the carnage in this movie is pretty brutal. And that's not a bad thing. That's not why I didn't like it. It's just me with the plot holes that the new lore created was just it's like been eating at me since last night. And it's not a bad thing. I think it's a really good movie. I just, like, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I couldn't help but think about the glaring kind of plot holes, which I understand a lot of people don't they don't go see that kind of movie and care about plot holes, right? But it's just like something that was just
No,
eating
but
it.
I think and I appreciate them expanding the lore, and Dale's right. There's lore expansion in this movie. I would think it's on scale with if you watched the Ash versus Evil Dead series. There was some lore expansion in that. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely, they added some stuff. They brought some new stuff in that wasn't established in the first three movies. Um, I think they took little bits and pieces of that and kind of tried to do something their own way with it. And I agree with Dale. It's a very well made movie. I mean, there's
Hmm.
some amazing shots, camera work, cinematography in this film, and the gore is number one. The gore looks amazing for 98% of the time. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think where they went wrong, and I think this is probably where you had the most problems with, because it's one of my problems, is probably with what would be considered, without giving it away, is what ends up being the big bad of it. I think that's where a lot of the plot holes kind of rear their heads, rear its ugly head, because we never quite in the whole series, even with the remake and Evil Dead Rise, we never had quite had something like that. And it's okay to
Yeah.
expand the lore, but then it's almost like, well, then you have this thing that doesn't adhere to regular Deadite.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were talking about that, Brian, last night and texting today, but it's like they're kind of like expanding the universe like they did in the show,
Yeah.
Ash versus the Evil Dead. It's not a bad thing, but then when you start to like when you decide, well, you're going to have like this main adversary, this main
Yeah.
bad guy, well, then he's got to have like structure to support the character. He's got to have like he's got to be able to answer to certain rules within the movie universe and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, or you got to explain why he doesn't have to answer to these rules. Or and I think that's when it comes down to the end, when it's just our survivors and this main bad guy. I think like you really start to question what you're watching on screen, and it's not a bad thing
No.
because you know what, props for them for trying something new.
Yes.
It's just you start to like question why did they leave certain things out or what they were thinking, and maybe it's going to be answered, maybe.
And maybe it will be, because we do have Evil Dead Wrath is already shot. I know I said that last month, and that's more of a prequel. It takes place in the early 70s, so it happens pre-Ash going to the cabin, or in, I guess, this case, I don't know how much they're even going to reference Ash, because really, in this new universe, although they say they're kind of tied together, Dale's mic's a bit loud.
Sorry, Salty Peppa. Maybe I just need to back away from it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
Too excited.
Well, Troy has these jacked up to 11, too, I think. My tech guy's not here. He's down in his room watching probably a horror movie. Yeah, but overall, I liked it. I gave it a 8.5 out of 10. It's all serious. It's all gore. It's relentless. I mean, this movie, the horror does not stop. Once it starts, it's relentless through the whole movie, and it's just it goes hard, very, very hard. And I don't know how they got an R rating. Even Troy said, he goes, I don't know how that got an R rating. And I know the director said that he had to cut some to get an R rating, so I can't even imagine what they had to cut, considering what the MPAA let them get away with. But it'll be interesting when it hits home video and they release the unrated cut. I can only imagine what
can't help. I
can't even imagine what they had to cut
they're
out.
They're exploring new realms, new territory of what they can get away with.
Yes, they definitely pushed the limits of what they can get away with on an R rating. I even said to Troy that was gorier than In a Violent Nature, and In a Violent Nature was unrated. And it was even more gorier than Sonny Dillon remake, and that was unrated.
Oh, wow, yeah. Holy crap.
You think about it. I mean, that was way gorier than that.
So it's like the filmmakers stayed their hand when they were making those unrated versions of those movies.
And it's definitely way gorier than Evil Dead Rise. Like, I watched Evil Dead Rise the night before, and this one surpasses that. It's definitely more in line with the 2013 reboot than it is Evil Dead Rise. It like surpasses that, no problem. I mean, they go for it, and it's a vicious movie. It's even a mean movie, like in terms of like it's dead serious and they're not holding anything back. But overall, I liked it. Troy gave it a 9 out of 10 because he has the bloodlust. He's a gorehound, and it's
the bloodlust.
And if you want gore-rama, you're gonna get that with this movie. So, and the gags look awesome. There's only one Deadite character that looks off. That's all I'm going to say. When you see the movie, you'll know which one I'm talking about. But it's definitely, if you're an Evil Dead fan,
Yeah.
go see it and then shoot me a message. I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah.
Because it goes hard and it goes for the throat, literally. So check it out this weekend. Hopefully it does well. They already shot Evil Dead Wrath, so we're getting another one no matter what. But it was a packed theater last night too. It was crowded.
Oh yeah. I was happy to see that. There are a lot of people showing
Yeah,
up for
Thursday night screening. There was hardly any empty seats in the house except for right down front. So
Yeah.
Hopefully it does well this weekend because I want more Evil Dead movies. So
Yeah. Salty Peppa, let Brian know. Leave your comments
yeah,
after you see the movie.
yeah, let me know. I'd be really interested to hear what your thoughts are. Okay, that's our talk on Evil Dead Burn because we don't want to spoil anything, and we could spoil a lot. There's a lot
it's
to
easy.
say that would give a lot away. I think Landon will be okay, Kurt. If he's watched Terrifier, he'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
This is just way more serious. Like, there's no art goofing around to like kind of break up levity, a little bit of levity. There's none of that, but there's a few moments of levity, but nothing that's gonna break the tension. There's no Evil Dead 2 comedy in this one. Let's put it that way.
Right. Yeah. But the gnarly nature. If Landon watched Terrifier, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
Yeah,
If he
yeah.
saw Terrifier
That's
and
fine.
thought no problem, and he ate snacks and he was fine.
He ate snacks.
Sitting there eating a hamburger while he's watching
Right,
art
yeah,
gut
right.
somebody. Especially in Terrifier 3,
Just
that
another
shower
day.
scene. It's just another day at the
Oh
office.
my god.
All right, before we get into the movie we're here to talk about, I'm going to run down a couple. It's been a pretty good year for horror overall, theatrically. And I haven't even seen everything that got released. I didn't see Backrooms, which I know did really well.
Mm-hmm.
I did see Obsession, which I thought was really, really good, which is actually, all he does is he's coming out in 4K like next week while we're away.
Oh,
It's gonna come
yeah.
out. I highly recommend Obsession
Wait,
if you haven't seen it.
What comes out next week?
Obsession on 4K.
Holy crap! I gotta.
Yeah, they're releasing it already.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's already on pre-order on Amazon. I didn't pre-order it yet, but I'll get it because I thought it was really good. So it's been a pretty good damn year for horror, and now we got the new Evil Dead movie, and now we got some more movies coming up, and I'm just going to go through 4 of them that are of note. Next month on August 7th, I did not see Disclosure Day, Kurt. I'll see it when it hits video. I wasn't all that impressed with the trailer, so it was one of those where I'm like, I can wait for streaming. I will get to it eventually. But what we got next month on August 7th, we got Ice Cream Man, directed by Eli Roth. And I could have swore, and maybe I am hallucinating. Oh, I'll have to check that one out. And there's another one that's going right to streaming. I just saw the trailer the other day. I can't remember the name of it. There is a couple cool movies coming out. It look cool. There's a slasher movie coming out soon. I think it's through Dread Central, but it's going to streaming. It looks pretty cool. I just don't. These are just theatrical releases. Of a few. Yeah, Rich. Yeah, I know. Some things ran through my head when I was sitting in the theater watching that bad boy. But we got Ice Cream Man on August 7th, directed by Eli Roth, supposedly. And again, I don't think I was having a stroke, but I'm pretty sure that's going out unrated. Insidious, I can't believe they're still making Insidious movies. If you like them, more power to you. I only ever saw the first one. They're making another one. It's coming out in August 21st. Insidious Out of the Further. I didn't even know they made that one.
How many is that now? Insidious.
The 5th,
Wow.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the 5th one. Definitely 4th, but no, I think it's 5th. All right, September 18th, we got the brand new Resident Evil by Zach Kreger coming out.
Whoa.
And then there's got to be something in October, but I didn't see anything yet. December 25th, Robert Eggers' Werewolf comes out. That's right, Kathy. That is your birthday. Ice Cream Man comes out on your birthday. You and Alicia's birthday that day. So you can go see some horror. And I think it's going out unrated. But again, I might have a stroke that day, but I'm pretty sure it's unrated. Yeah, Werewolf, the new Robert Eggers film on December 25th, Christmas Day. I saw the trailer. I'm sure all you've seen the trailer. It looks very interesting, much in the same vein as Nosferatu
Yeah.
in terms of cinematography and whatnot, and pretty much half the same cast is back.
Robert Eggers seems to be taking the Christmas time slot.
Yeah,
for his movies now.
Let's release an R-rated horror movie on
Yeah.
this Christmas Day. More power. I mean, Nosferatu, it worked out. That was a hit. So, all I want out of this movie, it could be artsy fartsies at once. That's fine. I thought the cinematography in Nosferatu was on point. I just want a cool ass looking werewolf and for it to be practical. That's pretty much what I want. So if I get that and the story's good, which I assume it will be, and the acting will be on point, I just need a goddamn really cool werewolf. So we'll see what happens on December 25th.
You said it.
So, okay. Physical media, which you know I'm a big fan of. I got a huge order in from Kino Lorber the other day. God help me. I'm going to go down some Arrow video ones and then just some other ones that I saw that are of note. Not all these are horror movies, but, you know, I like other movies too. So on July 21st, which I do have on pre-order, Falling Down with Michael Douglas comes out. I love that movie. I can't wait to see what Arrow did with that transfer-wise. On July 27th, Soylent Green starring Charlton Heston, which is a great movie.
Great movie.
That comes out in 4K. In August, we have Troy. Not My Son Troy, the movie Troy. Brad Pitt and Eric Bana and Orlando Bloom and a ton. Brian Cox is in that movie. Ton of that movie. I like that movie a lot. That comes out August 18th. On August 25th, Identity starring John Cusack comes out on 4K. I like that movie quite a bit. I do plan on picking that 4K up because the last version I have of that is DVD. And on September 29th, Go comes out. If you remember that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Katie Holmes. And
I worked at the music store when that soundtrack came out. That thing
I know, that was
changed
hot.
the face of
that
music.
was hot.
Yeah.
And that was directed by Doug Liman, who directed The Bourne Identity and Swingers. He directed that film. On August 4th, for all you guys that like comedy, and I sure do, especially R-rated, American Pie 2 gets its 4K debut from Universal. Talladega Nights gets its 4K debut. August 3rd through Synapse, Prom Night comes out on 4K. And then some other ones. August 11th, Project Hail Mary comes out on 4K. Don't get a second chance. Barbarian, for the first time on 4K, or first time on physical media, comes out on 4K. Zach Kreger's.
Oh, yeah.
I
saw that.
Seen that.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's really good. But I saw that there's like it's like a Sony movie. Disney's doing the disc or something like that. It's like a whole.
He fought to get that released on physical. They weren't
Did he really?
Physical release, and he fought for that.
It's a good movie. Anybody who hasn't seen Barbarian, was it straight to Netflix? Is that what that was?
I think it got a theatrical release, but then it just went to streaming.
It's a good movie.
But yeah, he fought for it, and it's getting a theatrical release or a physical media release on August 11th. Hokum on 4K. That was the movie that came out back in the spring. That's getting a 4K release on August 11th. Mars Attacks.
Oh, wow.
Which I know there's a huge fan base for. Tim Burton's Mars Attacks, August 11th. And then a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Death Warrant, gets its 4K release on August 11th.
Wow.
And also, we get Lionheart on 4K at the end of July. That's coming out as well. I didn't have that on here, but I know it's coming out.
Did the same... Did the company who just put out all those other Jean-Claudes? Are they putting that?
They're the ones.
MVD.
Both of those.
Good people over there. MVD.
Yeah, they have some cool stuff. So if you're a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, which who isn't, especially his 90s work and 80s work, we get Lionheart coming out and Death Warrant, and I like Death Warrant quite a bit. I have the Blu-ray from MVD actually. I don't know if I'll upgrade that one, but Lionheart, I'm interested in getting that 4K definitely.
We're Jean-Claude Van Dammes in this house.
Yes, we are. We're definitely Jean-Claude Van fans around here. Some dad humor for you on this Friday evening. Okay, the reason why we're here, and the reason why I picked this movie, this was a request from my good buddy Brandon, who you'll see pop in. He's not on tonight, but he's going to watch this later.
Yeah,
Brandon's a really good friend, lives in Iowa. He requested this movie, and I was like, you know what? It's July. Let's do something. It's about a dead body, but it's not a horror film. And if you've never seen Weekend at Bernie's, you know what kind of movie this is. But I thought, let's have some fun. And that's why I asked my good friend Dale from the Bat and Spider podcast. And by the way, before I throw this to him for the plot synopsis, please go over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and subscribe to Bat and Spider. Those guys are awesome. They have an episode out every Thursday.
Yeah.
And you're going to probably hear about some movies you probably never even heard of, I would imagine. Because I still learn about movies to this day listening to their podcast that I never heard of or have never seen. So please go over and subscribe to those guys. Chuck and Dale do the Lord's work over there, talking about cinema that you may have not even heard of. And it's a fun time for sure. Every Thursday morning, I listen to it when I'm driving for work, and it gets me through the day. So yes, please go over and subscribe to Bat and Spider podcast.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. Okay, Dale, do you want to describe what Weekend at Bernie's is about?
Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's is the perennial story of two schmucks who are working overtime, working weekends at their insurance job, and they're trying to find, they're trying to go over the conversions and all the money because of the new computer system. They're like double checking values because of the conversion or whatever. I'm putting way too much thought into that. But they find a bunch of missing money. Basically, they see these checks that were cut for people who have already died. So they take it straight to the top. They go to Bernie Lomax, himself,
yeah.
head of the insurance company, and they want to reveal all this and be like big shots in the company. And Bernie like reassures them and says, "You guys doing good work." Meanwhile, he's in with criminal hands. He's like associated with known criminals, and it looks like maybe they all kind of like have their hands in insurance fraud of some kind. So what our two schmucks do not know is that Bernie wants to have them killed. He invites them out to his house on Hampton Island in New York, and he wants to have them killed. But it turns out that the nefarious criminals that he's in partnership with would rather kill Bernie. He's kind of a loose cannon now. He's sleeping with the Don's woman.
Yep.
And
which
he's
you don't do.
you don't do. And he's just becoming like a little bit of a loose cannon with where the money's concerned and stuff like that. So what we have is Bernie is murdered before Richard and Larry get to the island. And they realize that, but comedy ensues because there's women, there's drinking, everything that distractions, and Richard, our stoic like good guy, is in love with Gwen. Gwen shows up on the island, so they figure let's play it off like Bernie's not dead, and they have a night of debauchery. They have fun, and then they find out what the plan was. They were supposed to die, but as long as they keep Bernie close to them, they're going to think that the murderer is going to think that, according to the two guys, as long as Bernie's around, they can't be killed because Bernie's command was to not kill him while Bernie was around.
Yeah.
And comedy ensues.
Yes, we see them go
Weekend at Bernie's.
We see them go through many sketchy situations trying to get out of the mess they're in, and we're going to talk about some more. That was a good plot synopsis, Dale. I appreciate that. All right, Weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's came out off. Let's get into some stats here before we get into what we like and don't like. Well, you have to love this movie.
Yeah,
it's an absolute comedy classic. This Weekend at Bernie's came out July 5th of 1989. It's rated PG-13. It's an hour and 37 minutes long. Had a budget of $15 million, which at the time for a comedy is insane.
It's huge.
And that summer it made 30.2, so it made money. It's why we got a sequel in 93. This was directed by Ted Kotcheff, and Ted Kotcheff directed First Blood in 1982 and Uncommon Valor in 1983. But he also did a lot of other stuff too. So he worked in TV a lot, and he did a bunch of movies. In this film, playing Larry, as Dale just talked about, is playing Andrew McCarthy. And he was probably, out of the whole cast, he was probably the biggest star at the time, considering he was in St. Elmo's Fire in 85, Pretty in Pink in 86, and Mannequin, which I loved Mannequin.
Yeah.
In 87. I haven't seen it forever. Jonathan Silverman he had done a few things, and right before this, he did Caddyshack 2, which...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with Dan Aykroyd and... not Dennis Quaid, the other Quaid brother, his older brother, Randy Quaid. And Jackie Mason. That's right. Jackie Mason took over for Rodney Dangerfield. That was kind of the community brought in. And then Terry Kaiser, the man himself, Terry Kaiser, go back and look at his IMDb. He was in like every hit TV show in the 80s. I remember the first time I saw Terry Kaiser, and you would think, I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. Dale's going to check right now.
I'll check the numbers.
Terry Kaiser, I saw him for the first time before this movie in Night Court. He was in 4 episodes of Night Court
Oh
as
wow.
this sleazy reporter that had a hard-on for Harry trying to get dirt on him. But he was in like Airwolf for an episode. He was in like Magnum PI. He was in all the big shows of the 80s at some point or another. But then he got into movies as well. Like he was a journeyman actor. He's still around. He was just in Mutilator 2 that I watched last year.
Wow.
But then he was in Friday the 13th Part 7 right before this and playing the scumbag psychiatrist. So he's great here. And we're going to talk a lot more about Terry Kaiser. Also, Catherine Mary Stewart's in this film as Gwen, the love interest of Richard. And she was like the 80s girl. Yes, Cablasto, we are talking about Weekend at Bernie's, my friend. She was like an 80s girl. She was in Night of the Comet. She was in Last Starfighter. She was in this. She was in The Apple, which was a Canon production, which was a musical. And then we got everybody's favorite morgue attendant, Don Calfa, plays Paulie the hitman in this movie.
Oh yeah.
And he was Ernie in Return of the Living Dead, the escaped Nazi that was hiding out, working as a morgue attendant. That was a plot point that was really written in the script, but kind of got cut out before they started shooting. But little bits and pieces of it are still in that movie if you pay attention to Return of the Living Dead, by the pistol he has and some of the things he says and some of the artwork on the wall. That was his original backstory. Was he escaped Nazi Germany. He was a Nazi and he's hiding out working in this cemetery. That's just a little getting text messages from other people. Jesus Christmas. So that's a little backstory on Don Calfa's character from Return of the Living Dead that we talked about last year. But I'm going to ask Dale a question. Dale, can you remember the first time you saw this movie?
I don't remember the first time I saw this movie. This movie has always been a part of me. I feel like if it comes out in '89, I didn't go to the movies to see this, but I probably rented it. My mom let me rent movies all the time. I probably rented it, and it was my buddy Jimmy definitely had it on tape. I feel like we watched it all the time. I feel like this is a movie that I've known all the dialogue for all my life. I don't remember learning the dialogue. I just was born knowing it. And
Plus, it was on TV a lot too when we were growing up. I mean,
yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, especially like TNT. I think I remember played this on repeat all the time.
Yeah.
I saw this for the first time, and I vividly remember this. This was on a double bill at the Laurel Drive-In with Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, that summer.
Wow.
That's the first time I saw this. I was 10 years old. And my parents took us to see Batman at the Laurel Drive-In, and this was the second movie on the bill.
Amazing.
That's how I saw it for the first time.
Right there.
Yeah. Tim Burton's Batman and Weekend at Bernie's. And then obviously I rented it, and then it was on TV a lot. And I had it on DVD and now that Blu-ray. That mic died?
Is the mic dead?
There, it's back on.
Oh.
Why is it off again? Talk, Dale, see if it comes through.
Thunderbutts is...
No.
Oh, no.
Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties here for a second.
Sibilance.
Yeah, you're not. It's not coming through.
Is it muted? Oh, is that it?
No, it went back to red. What the heck happened? You can hear.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, must.
It's like touch.
Okay, there you go. You're on. Yeah, there's a touch button. I don't use that mic, so I'm not familiar with it. Sorry about that, folks. We'll get back to Weekend at Bernie's.
Sorry about that, Thunderbutts.
Yeah, sorry about that. There's a touch. I forgot about the touch button. I don't use that mic. That's usually Troy's one. So
it's like one of those touch lamps you would get.
Even though I bought it, I don't know how to use it. So, I was gonna get ready to text Troy. Troy, get up here.
Yeah, I thought it died too. I just tried to move it a little bit, and it figures. But it's like one of those touch sensitive surfaces.
No, there's like a little button right here. It's very sensitive. If you hit it, it just cuts it out, which I didn't know about.
There we go.
I just buy the stuff. I don't know how to use it, apparently.
Now I know too.
But like you, this is a movie I grew up on. I saw it at the drive-in. I remember seeing it, renting it, and then I remember watching it on TV.
Yeah.
And it's just a movie that's kind of like, it's like a warm blanket. Like,
yeah.
I like the characters. I love Bernie Lomax, obviously, legendary performance by Terry Kaiser. I mean, literally, to do what he does in this movie, it's an amazing physical performance. Kurt goes, that's where the spot is. Yeah, Kurt, I usually need an instructional manual, but we figured it out without the book from American Pie.
Yeah.
Remember the book they had in American
The
Pie?
tongue tornado.
Tongue Tornado, remember? In the fluid dynamics section in the library. Oh, are we doing American Pie next month? No, we're not doing another comedy
No.
next month. This is a one. We'll get around to a comedy again sometime, but this is a one and done. Okay, let me ask you this. Quirks that give streams to... yes, right.
Yeah.
And we don't edit here, so you're seeing all of our F-ups live. We're doing it live.
Doing it live.
As Bill O'Reilly once said, quoted. Now, I think it's a great cast, especially our core three, and Don Calfa, although he's in and out of the movie. But the three that are mostly on screen through the majority of the movie is Bernie, Larry, and Richard. What do you think? What is your favorite gag? Once Bernie's dead and
Yeah.
you find him, what would you say you think your favorite, what involving all three? Like, because that's when the shenanigans really hit the fan.
Yeah.
Is when they're trying to find out like how to portray Bernie as being alive. Once Richard or Larry convinces Richard that we're going to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love, I mean, Terry Kaiser's, like, the effort he put in to just play dead.
Body,
It had to have been the hardest acting to do in the movie was just not react at all, not blink. I mean, we're staring at his eyes the entire movie. Like, I was looking, you can see on this Blu-ray, you can see through the sunglass lenses.
Yeah.
And he's not moving.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, when they had especially the scene Dale's talking about, there's a scene where they come to decide that they're not, well, the party comes to Bernie's house. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Because Richard's still thinking about calling the cops, and Larry's trying to talk him out of it. And Bernie's on the couch, and everybody starts filing in. And you can see through his sunglasses, his eyes are wide open. And we were watching intently to see if he blinked.
Yeah.
And no time on screen did we see him blink, not once. And that had to be incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Especially with all the background actors walking through, talking, and even interacting with Bernie, and he never blinks. And that's probably the first time I really honed in on him, because you mentioned it. We just kind of watched intently to see if he broke or anything, or if he moved ever so slightly. And he really does just commit to that.
It's like when you watch the special features of the previous one of the previous Mission Impossibles, where Tom had to undergo like breath holding, like he could hold his breath for like 10 or 12 minutes, but he had to go up to, that's like Terry Kaiser doing like unblinking. He's got to go to unblinking school with a professional. Yeah.
See what Cablasto put. They painted his eyes on.
No,
his
Cablasto would not know. That's absolutely not true. Cablasto, nice try. That would look so fake.
Come on, Cablasto. Come on. If you know that for a fact, give us some evidence, bud. Send us a photo.
Yeah, it's BS. Everything out of that guy's mouth. My favorite is the next morning, and Larry let Richard sleep in, but Larry took it upon himself to like wheel Bernie out to the deck by the pool and like fish and line his tie his hand up. Gives him a margarita.
Whatever it was, yeah.
They're playing Monopoly, and like Larry's like pulling Bernie's hand up to wave at the people on the beach and stuff like that. It's that's my favorite.
With the girls going by saying hi. Is there a party tonight, Larry and Bernie, and waving?
Yeah.
I know me and Dale were talking about this earlier. I was doing a little research on it, and that whole sequence with Larry playing Monopoly with Bernie was Andrew McCarthy came up with that, because he would bring board games to set to play in between takes or when they had some downtime, and he had Monopoly with him that day when they were going to shoot that scene, and he went up to Ted Kotcheff, the director, and he said, "Why don't I play Bernie Monopoly, and I'm even going to cheat the dead guy?" And Ted loved it, and he let him do it. So it was made up pretty much like right before they shot it. They decided, okay, this is cool, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I love that scene too. And I love when Gwen comes, and we're laughing about this.
Yeah.
And Larry's trying to hide Bernie because she wants to talk to Bernie, and Richard's going to come clean and tell her that, and he does
like
confess.
Yeah.
Bernie's dead.
Bernie's dead.
And she goes out in the deck to find Bernie, and Larry had already dumped him off the side of the deck, and Larry's just sitting there chill with the sunglasses on with a drink, and Richard goes, "Where's Bernie?" And he goes, "Oh, he went out for more margarita mix." And Richard's looking at him, he goes, "No, he didn't." And Gwen's like marching away because she's pissed off at Richard. It's just a great moment.
Yeah.
We were laughing, even though we've seen it probably how many goddamn times we've seen this movie. But
I've always pegged, because of this movie, I always pegged Andrew McCarthy as like a slapstick humor guy.
yeah,
Because he's I personally think he's so good in this movie in terms of like physical comedy and just you could tell like some of the one-liners and stuff were just made up on the fly.
yeah,
But and then you go back to like his other movies and stuff, and it's never
he's never like that.
he's
no.
never like that in the other movies ever.
Besides Weekend at Bernie's 2. That's probably the only
Sure,
other. Which
yeah.
I haven't seen Weekend at Bernie's 2 and
Kurt, I looked it up. I think Weekend at Bernie's is on AMC Plus. That's the only place you can watch it for free. You got to buy it digitally otherwise.
yeah, I think I did look it up. It's not streaming for free, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Can you move over just a little bit?
Oh yeah, I'm sliding off.
That's all right. You're looking like Two-Face from Batman over there. You're pulling a Troy. Yeah, unfortunately, I did watch the main 3 from Steel Pittsburgh because they talked about some of the stuff. Terry Kaiser got hurt with some of the stuff because Ted Kotcheff was kind of like a madman, trying to figure out stuff to do with Bernie's body and dragging him behind. The one stunt guy got 3 cracked ribs from doing some of that stuff. They said, but I didn't see where they painted his eyeballs on Kablas. So you might be totally right. The unusual. We were talking about the casting earlier. John Cryer was actually going to be hired for this movie. They wanted John Cryer. Like I said earlier, Jonathan Silverman really he'd been in a few things, but he wasn't super well known yet. Andrew McCarthy obviously was the biggest actor, as I said. Besides, Terry Kaiser was in a ton of stuff, but it was all like bit parts on TV and whatnot. So John Cryer was going to get hired, but then they liked Andrew McCarthy, gave him Larry, and then Jonathan Silverman got the other part. So,
Yeah.
I'm typically always totally right.
Yeah.
Good for you, Kablas. I'm happy for you.
Bullcrap.
I'm glad you're batting 1,000, buddy.
Yeah.
Dale's doubting you, but
Seething. Yeah. Yeah. This Jonathan Silverman, I always thought was like what do you have? This you just mentioned what else he was in, and then he was in that what is it, the Jonathan Silverman show or something?
yes.
For like, what kind of development deals is he making? Where
He was
they're like,
also in a bit part in Made with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn. He was in that movie too.
wow. I only saw that movie once.
It's been a
I'm
while
not
since I
sure.
saw it. I only have it on DVD. I don't know if it's even available on. I'm sure there's a Blu-ray out there somewhere, but
Yeah, I don't think I can't picture John Cryer in the movie. I don't know what character he would have played. It seems like he could have played either character, but it's almost like
because he could have played the straight man because he played the straight man on 2.5 Men forever, I
Mhm.
guess. But I guess the problem is the chemistry is so good between those actors that it's hard to imagine anybody else in that role.
It really is.
Because Jonathan Silverman and Andrew McCarthy play off each other really well. And I buy them as good friends, even though Larry's kind of like getting Richard into trouble
Yeah.
just because of his own selfish needs.
I like the there's this innocence to their friendship, or there's just like this real part of the friendship. Well, whenever they're snapping each other, they always make time to apologize to each other
They're
after.
always apologizing. Yep.
It doesn't just happen once either. It happens 2 or 3, maybe at least 3 times.
Even towards the end of the movie, when we're getting towards the climax, before Paulie shows up to shoot Bernie when he's losing his shit because he keeps seeing Bernie alive after killing him twice. He even Richard snaps at Larry and he apologizes. I'm sorry for snapping. He goes, "Oh no, it's okay, it's okay." So you
Yeah.
can tell they were been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Because only friends for a long time could say shit like that to each other, and then they were like, "We're cool. It's fine."
Yeah.
I understand. I'm being a retard, so it's okay.
Yeah, the sticky roof scene at the beginning is Cablasso is so disgusting. The amount of tar, it all seems so natural.
Yeah.
But the way the boombox is planted in the tar,
Yep.
and
Even Larry was stepping through it to go to
he
the
steps
pool.
through it, and then he starts sliding towards
Yes,
the pool. It's
through the pool.
disgusting. Yeah,
And then he gets the paper stuck in it. The
yeah.
sheet with the showing the scam going on that they've I guess that scene, they said it wasn't that warm that day when they shot that, because they did shoot that in New York City.
Oh wow.
And they said it was like only in the 70s that day. Like it wasn't hot or anything when they shot that. I don't know what they used for tar. I think they said that in the interview I saw, but I can't remember what they said it was, because it wasn't real tar, obviously. But I can't remember what it was.
I like when like Bernie Lomax is going through the tar paper,
Yeah.
and Larry's like, "Oh, that's computer ink. That's just
It's
computer
just
ink."
it's just computer ink.
Like
sir.
they've
Don't
been
worry about
working so hard.
it. It reads as very yes. It looks very hot, Cablasto.
Yeah, it does.
I love. I've always loved it since I was a kid. But the scene on the boat when Bernie falls off, which is towards the end of
Oh
the movie,
yeah,
and they're like just driving, and he's hitting the channel markers, and they're like, "What's that sound?" And they're looking around, and they don't realize it released till like the third or fourth hit, and they're like turn around like
yeah.
Bernie.
Yeah, the right after the Monopoly scene, basically, like the pace of the movie picks up and doesn't stop.
Yeah,
Once they realize that they're going to be killed or they're supposed to be killed,
yeah,
and they still think Bernie just innocently OD'd or
Yeah.
whatever. Like the movie picks up and doesn't stop, and that boat scene is like feels like it's 10 minutes of the movie or something at that point. It might not be, but there's so much that happens
Yes.
on that boat. It picks up and doesn't stop.
yeah, yeah. Because once they find that recording, why do they think that if Bernie's with them, they won't get killed? Even though
Yeah.
they don't know Bernie was killed on purpose already. They just think he OD'd, like you said, because they find the drugs on him
Yeah.
and a needle. It just goes crazy, and that's when Don Calfa comes back because he thinks he's leaving, and although the other guy in the organization sees that Bernie's alive because his girlfriend shows up and has intercourse with a dead body, and then she was up there for a half hour, boss.
Doing what?
Doing what? What do you think?
I don't want to tell you.
I don't want to tell you because it'll only make you more mad.
Yeah.
And I love like Paulie's descent into madness. Every time he sees Bernie, he's like, "The fuck, guy's dead."
Yeah. Oh my God. He's
And even
amazing.
at the end, when
His
they're taking him away, and Bernie's sitting there with a smile on his face. See, he's alive. He's alive.
Yeah. His character acting is so good
Yeah.
in this movie.
His
I
eyes
love
get
his
wide.
character.
He's like, he's alive. See, he's
Yeah.
still alive.
When he comes in with the gun and he gives like the Italian, he says cornuto, which is
Yeah.
an Italian phrase.
And he
Calls him
starts
like a
blasting
son of a
away.
whore.
Yeah, he just starts blasting him away.
Yeah.
And then Gwen is the first time she's been involved with any of the shenanigans, really.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the hell's going on?
I mean 15 million, it makes sense because the movie's both shot in New York, then they go down to North Carolina to shoot
Yep.
the beach scenes and stuff where, Hampton Island is the Hamptons. It's
Yeah.
what 30 miles from New York City, but the production that
Yes.
they got to do.
Yeah, because they built that house out by Fort Fisher in North Carolina. And me and Dale visited where they built
Yeah.
that house. We were actually standing right next to where the house was built. And they legitly built a house there and then took it apart and removed it when the production was over.
Yeah, just for the movie.
Yep, just for the movie. Because we were looking at the movie when they showed the house from the outside, like a wide shot. We're like, we were standing right there,
Yeah.
right where the house was built, like right in front of it.
Cablasso would not have been far from Emerald Isle. I know you came down to Emerald. It was the closest you would have been to Emerald Isle. Like it was probably Emerald Isle's probably 2 hours from there.
Yeah,
But
because that's up by Atlantic Beach. So
Yeah.
not too far. Which Cablasto, you could have visited the mutilator locations, buddy.
they did such a great job. I mean, the house is the only thing there. There was no
Yes.
neighborhood. There was no other
No.
beach houses behind it. So they import all these extras to like walk in front of the house and be on the deck during
Yeah.
the party and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then it all goes away and they start filming in a neighborhood somewhere else completely.
Because it's Cure Beach out there. If you go out there like me and Dale did, there's nothing really out there. There's Fort Fisher. They have like an aquarium, or not a big aquarium. It's like a little nature preserve, and there's like a visitor center, but there's no other houses out there. Everything's down the beach further, where the town is. So out there, there's nothing. So when they built Bernie's house, they did have to bring everybody up there, like all the extras,
Yeah.
the beach chairs, the tents, and just fill it in. So like you said, I could see where they spent the 15 million just to build the house and just the production of making that. It, even in '88 when they shot it, they had to spend some money.
Yeah. And I think you brought up a good point that they built the house so they could accommodate cameras and camera
Yeah.
work, and maybe they just couldn't find that in either New York or anywhere else in North Carolina at the time for them to go through all that
Yeah.
just for one house.
Yeah, because even like when they're inside the door, you could tell they're not on set because you could see the ocean and you
Yeah.
can even see the beach in some shots when they're even inside the door in a wide shot, you could see the people outside still. They're right there. So to build a house and then take it apart and
Amazing.
remove it's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially there.
It's
If you
amazing.
go out and see it, like literally there's nothing around except for like a visitor center, and that's about it. There's nothing much out that way.
Mm-mm.
It's a little bit in like it's at least a good mile into town from there, like the closest
Yeah.
buildings and houses. So yeah, they put in the work to make that look legit.
Yeah, because I mean, right now there's the visitor center, which is before where the house would have been built, and the parking lot. But maybe back then there
It
might
probably
not
wasn't even there.
It
Yeah,
might have been because that's all four-wheel drive beach past the house.
Yeah.
You need a 4-wheel drive vehicle to get on the beach. So that might have been, I don't think there was road. there.
That's a good point. That visitor center probably wasn't even there.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I mean, maybe the fort
Wild.
stuff might have been there out further because there was a little bit of stuff out there where the aquarium thing was.
Mhm.
But that's probably the only thing that was out there at that point. There probably wasn't that because the visitor
Wow.
center was fairly new. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. That's back in
Wow.
'88, it probably wasn't even there out there.
We got to find some boots on the ground people who were there.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
other than knowing where the dune was and where to walk. There's
Yeah.
nothing to see there other than the sand. They literally took everything away. There's nothing left out there. And
Nope.
then
and that was part of the agreement. They agreed to
Yeah.
take the house down.
yeah,
and
they had to
rebuild
agree to take the
dune.
house down because I think because right past there's like protected area, so
Yeah.
it was probably all in the contract and whatever. And then the lighthouse itself, and where the ferry docks is Bald Head Island, which is you have to take a ferry ride, but it's not far from there, but it's down a little bit.
Mhm.
We didn't go over there, but
Mm-mm. No,
if we
Next
had
time on
yeah,
the
we didn't
list.
have time for that. We were wanting to get other locations, but
yeah.
it was just cool to stand at the beach where Bernie Lomax lived in the movie. So
know.
that was cool. But let's talk. Dale gave Terry Kaiser his roses, and I will reiterate: Terry Kaiser gives
Yeah.
a great performance. He sells it, and those three together really make the movie. Don Calf is great. Don't get me wrong, and everybody else is good. But those three, if that didn't work, that casting, the whole movie falls apart. That because between Larry and Richard's chemistry and then Terry Kaiser's performance, all that has to come together or this movie sinks.
Yep.
And they nailed it. It was 80s magic. And they made a sequel, and again, I don't Cablasto, when's the last time you saw the sequel? It's been a long time for me. I know it takes place in Jamaica or
Mhm.
Virgin Islands. I don't remember, but it's
Yeah, it takes place in New York and then Jamaica because they put a voodoo curse on Bernie
that's right.
and they have to play
Because doesn't he
music.
dance on his own and shit? Like,
Yeah, but only when music's
oh,
playing.
that's what it was. Okay.
And he will start dancing towards the buried treasure. Like that's his curse.
You know the crazy ass thing.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. Cablasto's never seen this. I wonder if Megan has. Yeah, so yeah, he's like the only person with the knowledge where the buried treasure is Bernie. So these
they were
two
stretching
Jamaican dudes, yeah, they like put him under a curse, but the curse fails because music has to be playing for Bernie to be
I remember the
walking
dance in
towards.
that.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember that. I couldn't remember the context of it. I remember the music and the dance, and I remember that, but I don't remember why. And I remember now that it's coming back to me, the voodoo curse and all that. And then Larry and Richard have to try to
yeah.
intervene.
Yeah, they have to try to intervene, so like they can either they can get the treasure for like the love interest, dad's medical
what it
practice
was.
or something.
Was she back when in that?
No, she wasn't. This is a new girl that was interested in Richard. And then maybe Larry has the love interest this time. I can't remember if Gwen's back, but I remember
Now I want to watch it just so I can remember
Yeah.
it fully.
Larry like to break the curse or something. They need the blood of a virgin, and
Oh,
Larry
that's
like
right.
offers his wrist because it reveals that he's a
Rich,
virgin.
you and I probably watched that together, but I've seen it more than once. It's just been a long time since I've seen it. I just remember bits and pieces. And until Dale said what he said, I that came back to me, but it's been a long time.
I watched it a couple times, but only in the span of like 2 years.
I don't think that's streaming anywhere. It's only available on DVD, as Cablasto said. I know it never got a Blu-ray release.
No, I want to watch it now too.
I know. I want to watch it too, just to remember fully.
Yeah.
I know it's not as good as the original,
Yeah.
but I know I watched it a few times back in the day. But
Was that straight to video?
no, it got a theatrical release. It
Wow.
didn't do as well. Like I told you earlier. Yeah, it was forever, dude. It was back in the mid '90s. We rented that and watched it.
I'm surprised when you said it came out in '93. I was surprised. Like I thought it would have been '91 or '92.
No, it was like 4 years later, 3 or 4 years later, it came out. I start dancing towards the fridge. Oh yeah, and the sequel had a lot less budget. I told you it only had a $7 million budget. So even though the first one was a hit, they gave them less than half the money they had for the first film.
Shame.
And then I think it only made like $15 or $16 million. So
what
didn't do as
what
well.
could have been?
And it came out at the same time of year, July of '90. Hold on, I have it written down here. Yeah, July 9th of '93 it came out. Weekend at Bernie's too.
Wow.
I did my research, at least that much. Come on. Yeah, how did they keep Bernie fresh for? Well, you know.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Cryogenically frozen with Walt Disney. That's where he was.
Yeah.
I'm just making shit up, but Bernie was wealthy. You never know.
Right.
All right. Some little trivia. The original title of this movie was Heat Wave, and then they changed to Hot and Cold, which is the name of the song in the movie.
By Andy Summers wrote that song.
Yeah.
Andy Summers of the Police, who went on to become like a prolific like movie guy on his movie scorer.
I didn't put it together when we were watching the credits. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Good call, man.
Andy Summers of the Police. He wrote that banger.
He wrote, yeah, that's a good song. I looked it up. And what came up? I said,
the power station.
Power Station came up.
Yeah,
because they have a similar song, old title. Anyway, it's not the same song, but it's a similar title. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
the guy from the Police came in and did that, and then he did a lot more after.
Yeah, he did a ton more. I mean, he's probably made maybe just as much money doing film work as he did with the Police, but because I know he probably still does it.
Hey, more power to him, man.
Yeah.
The director Ted Kotcheff makes a cameo in the movie as Richard's father. When he's sitting on the couch making out with Gwen, he comes walking through to go to the refrigerator, scratching his belly, and then Richard says it's his butler, and please lay out my clothes for tomorrow. And he looks at him, he goes, "I'm gonna lay you out," which is such a dad thing to say.
Yeah. For Richard to say that is like such a sitcom thing to do. Like, Monroe, lay my clothes out for tomorrow, Monroe. It's like, what's going on here?
He just looks at him and goes, "I'm going to lay you out." How about I lay you out?
Yeah.
And that's something, dads would say to you if they thought you were being a smart ass. "I'm going to lay you out."
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
But, I mean, what else can we say about this movie? It's a movie I grew up on.
Yeah.
I think it still holds up incredibly well because of the performances. I think that's what sells this movie, because it's an outlandish scenario for a movie, but they make it work. And me and Dale were talking, if you watch the movie closely, just the plot and the story, they give Richard and Larry Larry's there for selfish reasons. Even when Bernie's dead, he wants to stay for selfish reasons. He wants to live this life that he can only dream about. But they give Richard enough, he's the straight man, and he wants to call the cops, but they give him enough reasons not to.
Yeah.
Just enough to make it believable enough to make the plot go forward without seeming really crazy, like just utterly ridiculous. So I think it was a pretty smartly written movie, considering it's a movie about a dead body that they got to convince people that's still alive.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's so much intricacy to make it just believable enough to where usually straight guy Richard would have called the cops.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, but it was his desperation for Gwen,
which it was probably smart of the writers to make sure Gwen was there.
Yeah,
because that gave him more of a purpose not to call the cops, because he's trying to woo her. So okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stay in it for now. No, the movie has no business working as it does Cablasto, and it's really, again, it's the performances and the writing's better than it had any right to be, considering, because this could have went off the rails really badly. This could have been like a movie that was shown on, no offense, because I loved USA Up All Night, but this was a movie that could have easily been one of those movies that was shown at 2 a.m. on USA Up All Night.
Only then, right?
No problem. But they pulled it together, I think, because they had a solid director and they had actors that got along and were on point and knew what the assignment was. So I think it was a happy.
And that's why you need to seek out like interviews on YouTube for this kind of stuff, because you get no special material in the Blu-ray.
There's not much
all
behind,
that stuff is lost to the ages.
Like Cablasto said, the Buffalo interview. I saw the Pittsburgh interview with the 3 leads. But really, there's not a lot out there, and I think you could still find like an interview with Ted Kotchoff before he passed away, where he talks about it a little bit.
Wow.
But there's not a whole lot, and obviously the Blu-ray doesn't have anything on it. It's just a
Yeah,
trailer,
it's just Raw Dog.
and that's pretty much it. And it's actually a movie that I wish somebody would grab a hold of and give a 4K to, because it's a movie it needs an upgrade. It's I wouldn't mind having.
I think
a
it's
better
worth.
version
Yeah,
of it.
I agree. I think it's worthy of an upgrade.
Well, he also directed First Blood, Cablasto. That was probably his other biggest movie, An Uncommon Valor. Yeah, there's a Pittsburgh interview from like 2 years ago with the three of them. They did a panel. It's only like 20 minutes long, but it was pretty good. It was pretty informative. They gave away some really cool little tidbits about the movie and filming it. And they said Ted Kotchoff, they'd be filming at like 3 a.m, like the night scenes, and they would do a take, and he would get a cut, and he'd look at him, he goes, "It's just not funny, guys. Let's go again." And they would just go until they made the director laugh, and then he'd be like, "Okay, we can move on." So yeah, Gene Hackman's in Uncommon Valor. Yeah, I was trying to think who the main actor.
Oh
is in that
yeah, I
movie.
was
Gene
too
Hackman's
when
in
you
that
said
movie.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's a 4K or a Blu-ray out by MVD that's fairly cheap for that movie. I
Oh.
haven't seen that movie in forever either. I don't barely remember it. But at the end of the day, I have fond memories of this movie. I like to watch it about once a year, and we're about to take a beach vacation, so it was perfect timing to watch such a movie.
It really was.
Gets me in the mood with the reggae music and just like the beach theme.
Dead people.
Dead people. Well, hopefully we don't see any
Dead people on
bodies.
the beach.
Yeah, I'm certainly not gonna be running around with them with my shoelaces tied to their shoes if we do come across one.
Yeah.
But it's a movie that I think holds up, and it deserves all the credit and the flowers it deserves, because it's just a well done, crazy ass movies. Oh yes. Oh, thanks for joining us. Yeah, enjoy the weigh-in. I know the fight's tomorrow night, I guess. If you hear my dog, Sage is barking.
Sage is excited about the weigh-in.
Yeah. See ya. Have a good night. No, Troy hasn't seen it, Cablasto, and I don't know if your kids have. Have you made your kids watch it yet, or try to get them to watch it?
I think I have. Have I?
I thought you did too, maybe last summer or something.
Yeah.
Or
I think I did.
recently?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, and they hated me for it, but tough.
I was trying to get Troy to watch it with me and Dale tonight before we went live, and he was like, "Nah, peace out, I'm out."
Yeah.
But like I said, he is the bloodlust right now, so he's kind of like, if it doesn't have gore in it, the hell with it, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
It's
true. It's true.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
When I got into really good in the horror movie, I was the same way. If it didn't have gore in it, I didn't want to watch it.
That's why he loved Evil Dead Burn so much. He even said
he he gave it a 9 out of 10 because of the gore. It was outstanding.
Yeah.
He told me again today. He was telling me, he talked to me about it. He goes, "Yeah, I liked it, but I only gave it that high of a rating because I loved the gore. The gore was amazing." I'm like, well,
inspirational. Yeah.
That's your thing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, when push comes to shove, Dale, what would you give this movie, Weekend at Bernie's, out of 10?
Oh my gosh. It's tough for nostalgia. It's tough to separate like my nostalgia for it for like a critical eye on the movie, but it's a 10 out of 10 movie for me.
10 out of 10. All
Absolutely,
right, man.
yeah.
Jesus. Well, nostalgia, you know what? People shun nostalgia, but nostalgia is a powerful thing because it's a memory you have of enjoying something or having a good time doing.
Yeah.
That you always look back fondly of. And there's movies that we watch that we know may not be the greatest, or they're not Oscar worthy, but they're a movie that you really enjoy, and you're willing to give them a really good rating because you just enjoy it. And if it's special to you and you enjoy it that much, it's fine. It's totally fine. And I would even say it's the whole point of being a movie fan. If a movie speaks to you and you have a good time with it, who gives a shit if everybody loves it or not?
That's a good point.
Who cares?
I mean, because I can really say from an early age, like just Andrew McCarthy's performance on this, the slapstick and the one-liners and stuff, like really impressed upon me moving forward. I was one of the early cases of just like what a one-liner could do, or what a little bit of physical comedy could do to like make me love a role that somebody else is
doing. And this movie
so.
does that perfectly. The physical comedy that is blended in there along with the one-liners, and it works so well. Rich gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
Nice,
which
Rich.
is a great. Ooh. Rich, when's the last time you saw it? Recently? I don't know. If you own this one, But I would give it, you know what? I'm with Rich. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Nice.
It's a movie I enjoy and I look back on fondly of it, and I like revisiting it. It's the second
Yeah.
time this year I watched it. So
Yeah.
it's just a fun, easy watch. It's almost like getting together with a couple of friends, Richard and Larry, a couple of goofy friends, and
Yeah.
just watching them go through crazy shit.
Yeah, I agree.
And it just puts a smile on my face, and that's the whole point.
Cablasso 9.9 out of 10. Yeah. Megan 10 out of 10. Cablasso's partner, for sure 10 out of 10.
Megan going hard on it. She's a
You
big
know it.
fan.
Yeah.
Look at you converting her
So
into
good.
the Weekend at Bernie's Club. And I'm glad people like it. At least people here.
Mhm.
Honestly, I probably watch it once a year. It's a fun. I know, Rich, we watched it when we were kids together. It was just a movie that we had a blast with. You couldn't
Yeah.
help but have a smile on your face. So Weekend at Bernie's is a winner. It's a winner with us, and that's all that matters. So yeah, me and Dale gave it Dale gave it 10 out of 10. I gave it 9.5 out of 10. It's one of Megan's favorites. Well, it's just a breeze to get through and fun.
Yeah.
Charming as hell, and you can't go wrong with it. It's not overly offensive, so your kids can watch it.
Yep.
There's nothing too
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
And there's
nice.
only one F-bomb when the one lady tells Larry to fuck off.
Fuck off,
Trying to hit
Larry.
on her, fuck off, Larry.
Yeah.
So, the Weekend Bernie's is a winner. We enjoyed our time. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Do me a favor. Before we end it, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. And please go over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and subscribe to Bat and Spider. I greatly would appreciate that.
Thanks.
Those guys are awesome. Dale was kind enough to join me here tonight. Maybe in the future we'll do another one sometime down the road.
Anytime.
I appreciate you coming over.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
hanging
having
out
me.
for a little while.
Appreciate it.
In August, since we're getting closer to Halloween. Thanks, buddy. Love you, bud.
Thanks, Rich.
Next
soon,
month
man.
we're gonna go back to horror because that's what we do here. But we had some fun tonight, so once in a while we'll do one of these where we just have some fun. Never heard them pop. I never. Well, I just heard of them this morning. I listened to them the first time, but then I got lucky to get this guest. No, just joking.
Surprise.
Okay, for next month, for August, I'll announce the date in a couple weeks. We're gonna go to Rob Zombie territory for The Devil's Rejects. Next month, we're gonna do The Devil's Rejects and Horror Talk Live for episode 31.
Wow.
I got this 4K. I still haven't watched this 4K yet. I saw it in the theaters for the 20th anniversary, and I still haven't watched this. Troy has. It's amazing. You have a 14-year-old and they watch this shit before you get to watch it. But yeah, we're going to talk about The Devil's Rejects next month for the August edition of Horror Talk Live, episode 31. So we'll have some fun with this one. Dale, you don't have any parting words for the audience?
No, thanks for having me, Brian. Congrats on 30 episodes, and congrats to Troy too. And I look forward to doing more. I'll have anytime. Check out batandspider.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Brian's YouTube channel. Do it.
Yes, just do it. It makes you feel better. It makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I want to thank all you for joining us here on this Friday night.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
know you
guys.
have other things to do, and spending a little time with us, we greatly appreciate that. That is it for this episode of Horror Talk Live. I hope you all have a great weekend, no matter where you are. Hopefully you have some great weather. And Troy's in the chat, apparently. He's watching from his room. That sucker. But yeah, have a great night, and we will see you next time. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
All right, I think we rocked that, man.
Nice. That was awesome.
That was awesome. Good job, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much. I
having me, man.
appreciate it.
Yeah.